Okay, the George Washington Masonic National Memorial, and we're going to analyze this building and what's in it. Here's George Washington and that pillar and all of these dignitaries now gathered there. This is, I believe, that statue. Not sure if they moved this or not, or it's the same one, but anyway, you can see the Masonic checkerboard. And here's that single pillar, Masonic. Oh, he's immortalized in this. Within that building is Benjamin Franklin, Freemason. You can see here he does the Pledge of Allegiance, hand to heart or chest, and he holds the key. And so this is all Freemasonry. The key again to the mysteries, the mystery religions, and that ceremony, the key to the city. I think that's exoteric meaning, but in this case, we can understand through the writings that it is the key to the mystery religions. And Benjamin Franklin again, in Masonic regalia. You can see that hand to the chest. I believe this is a different depiction. I think that's Woodrow Wilson. I'm not sure why I put that there, but I do have Richard. I'm not Richard, but oh gosh, I forget this actor's name. But anyway, it's skipping my mind. But anyway, we'll look at the down-facing pentagram, the Maltese cross, and of course the elements of the Jewish temple, and that is the Ark of the Covenant. And so you have this depiction that looks and feels and smells like the real thing, but it's not. Knights Templar statue, or in the Masonic Memorial. This is key now, this room. It's the Knights Templar room, and you see the cross and crown of Knights Templar. This is York Rite Freemasonry. And within that room, you can see this cross. It actually has the IHS. And so now a connection to Freemasonry and the Jesuits, the IHS in the cross, and the cross and crown. There is the stained glass window. This man is pointing as above, so below, and that below is toward the skull and the ground. So you have all of this symbology, Christ with this sun and moon, and all of this. Now you see that dove. It's the same one that Aleister Crowley has in his Ordo Templi Orientis. You all see that Ordo Templi Orientis have this Vesica Pisces, some type of a yoni sign. It actually is the female part sign, and you see that in iconography and also in the Ordo Templi Orientis, Aleister Crowley's logo for his secret society. Knights Templar again, cross and crown. You have the Masonic aprons in the National Memorial, and the skull and bones. And skull and bones again. And now, looking at the architecture, and I'll show you, this is very peculiar, and you have to understand anatomy this way. Okay, so here's the foundation stone with the square and compass, 1925, I believe. And now you have here the square and compass on the grounds. When you look at that square and compass on the grounds itself, the square or the compass is the male aspect. So the compass is toward the heaven, and therefore you have the building, which is the phallic symbol, going skyward toward heaven. You have the square itself, and the square is earth and female. And so this square, you can see if you understand anatomy, this grounds design is the female part, and the canal and that female part. So you can understand this union between sexes, and in this case you can see the anatomy and the architecture of the skyward male part and the earthward female part. Interesting how they do this. Now let's look at an interesting thing here. This is the tomb of George Washington, and you've seen this before on Masonic diplomas, and the use of two pillars, or the two obelisks in this case, and you saw that in Aleister Crowley's tribute, two obelisks. So this is Washington's tomb. If he's Christian, why is he using this? And why is he using the symbology of Egypt? If you think it's Egyptian revival, That is their definition of this whole thing, and you can try and finagle the history yourself and say that this was Neo-Egyptian architecture at that time, and therefore they adorned the tomb this way. I'm sorry. Look at it for what it is, and look at the rest of what Freemasonry is. This is Jefferson's tomb. Or tombstone. Franklin, his parents have the obelisk, and he actually has the plate. So he didn't get the obelisk. For Rockefeller and the obelisk. Now the most famous obelisk in the world, the Washington Memorial. And you can see that and why. Now you see the understanding of this as above, so below, the use of the reflecting pool to signify that. The obelisk is an Egyptian sun symbol. It is phallic in nature, representing the male penis, a symbol of generation, or G. So you got the two symbols of generation, the male part and the female part, and you can see Washington and the mall as representing this phallic symbol and showing that. I believe presidents now face this when giving their inauguration and getting inaugurated into office. This is the new layout, and the new layout has this shape, the Vesica Pisces shape. That's the conjunction of two circles. That is the female part, and you can see the female part here in conjunction with the male part. Appropriate architecture and layout of landscaping. And so another obelisk in the world is at Vatican. At the Vatican, St. Peter's Basilica. And you can see that that is being used as a sundial, and of course the cardinal points east and west being used that way. The facing, I believe this faces toward the sun, and so you have the obelisk. This grounds itself of the Vatican is in the shape of a key and a keyhole. And so if you look at on your Google Maps, you can see that that is a key all the way going down with a key end in this portion over here, but that is the key arm or the trunk of that key. The obelisks around the world, and I'll go through this. Again, Freemasonry is global. This religion is global. It is the religion of the elites. Singapore, Chinese obelisk in Panama Canal, and you can understand why that is. They cooperate with regard to trade. These are secret societies that do things in secret, and they organize themselves, and they are in control of the world. The United States, Brazil, and even North Korea. And so I believe that, yes, we might think that North Korea is isolated, but I believe that these leaders are left into position, and these are social experiments. And this particular experiment is a poverty-stricken, extreme socialist communist state. And that is an experiment on the people, and you can see what they do in this environment. They literally cry at the death of Kim Jong-il, and they pant and wane. It's almost like a competitive thing. If you've seen depictions of these people crying within this communist state, how psychologically they control people that way. And it's a desperate situation as well. This is a Buddhist obelisk in my hometown. I can't understand why they're using the obelisk, but you'll see later of that connection of Buddhism and Hinduism and the other world religions.